In the shadow of Mount Sinai, where thunder rumbled and lightning danced across the sky, the Israelites found themselves in a sacred moment of divine revelation. Moses climbed the mountain, enveloped in a cloud of divine glory, receiving the blueprint for a dwelling place for the Most High. The air was thick with anticipation as the Lord spoke clearly, detailing the design and furnishings of the tabernacle. As he descended, the weight of the covenant hung heavy on him, for through this tabernacle, God would dwell among his people, leading them through the wilderness. Exodus chapter 25 verses 8 to 9. Among the gathered Israelites, 2 artisans, Bezalel and Oholiab, were stirred by the Spirit of God, gifted with unparalleled skill and wisdom. The calling echoed in their hearts, to construct the sacred items that would hold the essence of their faith. Bezalel, filled with the Spirit, began to imagine the golden ark of the covenant, the very throne of God, where his presence would be intimately close to his people. The details consumed them, each aspect a tangible expression of worship and reverence. Exodus chapter 31 verses 1 to 5. As the artisans gathered materials from the willing hearts of the Israelites, each donation transformed into a tool of worship: gold, silver, acacia wood, and fine linens. The Israelites were united in purpose, driven by a desire to create a space for divine communion. This was not mere craftsmanship. It was a spiritual offering, a testament to their faith and obedience to the Lord's command. With every item crafted, a flicker of holiness was imbued within, reflecting their commitment to the covenant made at Sinai. Exodus chapter 35 verses 20 to 29. As days turned to weeks, the artisans labored with unwavering dedication. The Ark of the Covenant took form, its gold-plated surface glinting in the sun, adorned with cherubim whose wings touched above, guarding the divine presence. Bezalel's heart quickened with awe as he meticulously carved the wood and layered it in gold, ensuring it met every divine specification. When completed, the ark would not merely be an object. It would be a sacred vessel embodying God's promise and presence, a tangible reminder of his covenant with Israel. Exodus chapter 37 verses 1 to 9. Next came the table for the bread of the presence, crafted with grace and precision. Each element symbolized divine sustenance, and as Oholiab poured his skill into its creation, he envisioned the 12 loaves laid before the Lord, a perpetual reminder of God's provision for his people. The altar of incense rose high, a fragrant offering of prayers ascending to the Lord. These sacred articles were not mere possessions, but vital channels through which the Israelites could connect with their God, instilling in them a profound sense of community and worship. Exodus chapter 37 verses 10 to 28. In the center of it all stood the golden lampstand, its branches reaching out like arms in worship. Carefully shaped by Bezalel's hands, it was designed to illuminate the holy space, representing the light of God shining upon his people. As the artisans worked, they felt the weight of spiritual significance, knowing each construction was an act of obedience that would lead to divine encounters. With every golden leaf and lamp, they breathed life into the vision shown to Moses, crafting not just items, but symbols of their relationship with the Almighty. Exodus chapter 37 verses 17 to 24. The meticulous weaving of the tabernacle's curtains began, vibrant colors of blue, purple, and scarlet threading together with fine linen into a tapestry of divine artistry. Each thread was infused with intention, signifying the nature of God's dwelling, beautiful, intricate, and inviting yet filled with reverential awe. As Oholiab and his team weaved, their hearts stirred with the realization that these curtains would separate the holy from the ordinary, delineating a sacred space where the presence of God would reside. Exodus chapter 36 verses 8 to 19. The heavy outer coverings of goat hair were crafted with resilience, symbolizing the protection of the Almighty, shielding the tabernacle from the elements. Each seam bore witness to the labor of love and sacrifice. The artisans worked tirelessly, realizing that their offerings and craftsmanship were essential to maintaining the sanctity of this meeting place. With every layer added, a profound significance emerged, a reminder that while God is transcendent, He desires to meet his people in the midst of their struggles. Exodus chapter 36 verses 14 to 19. In the final touches, the pomegranates and bells adorned the garments of the priests and the outer curtains, symbolizing the fruit of the Spirit and the rhythm of worship. As these beautiful pieces came to life, Oholiab envisioned the future generations of priests who would wear them, representing the people before God. The weight of legacy filled the hearts of the artisans, understanding that their work would transcend time, embodying the faith of a nation who dared to believe that the Creator would dwell among them, guiding and loving them through every journey ahead. Exodus chapter 39 verses 22 to 26. As the final pieces were placed, an air of holy anticipation surrounded the Israelites. Moses gathered the people, each heart beating with hope and prayer. The moment had come for the dedication of the tabernacle, a continual reminder of God's unyielding presence. Moses meticulously followed God's instructions, setting each item in its ordained place, invoking blessings over the sacred space. The cloud of God's presence descended, filling the tabernacle with a divine glory that silenced every whisper. Exodus chapter 40 verses 1 to 38. In that moment, hearts were united in worship, the air thick with incense and prayer. The dedication marked the culmination of their journey through the wilderness, signifying not just the completion of a structure, but a living relationship with God. The people understood that this was the place where heaven touched earth, a bridge between the divine and humanity. Each prayer offered echoed within the walls, rising as a pleasing aroma to the Lord, a testament of their devotion and longing for communion with Him. Exodus chapter 40 verses 34 to 35. As the cloud settled and the Lord's glory filled the sanctuary, a profound realization dawned upon the Israelites. God was with them, guiding their every step. They learned that their obedience and craftsmanship bore eternal significance, for the tabernacle would become the place where sacrifices were made and worship offered, setting the stage for generations that would follow. This act of dedication was not merely ritual. It was a cosmic alignment of faith, promise, and the love of a God who desires to dwell among His people. Exodus chapter 40 verses 36 to 38. The tabernacle stands as a foundational symbol of God's desire for intimacy with His people. It taught the Israelites that their journey was not solitary. They were a people called to dwell with God. This understanding of divine presence remains at the heart of Catholic teaching, reflecting the belief that God continues to desire a personal relationship with each one of us, inviting us to draw near in faith and worship. Hebrews chapter 9 verses 11 to 12. Through the tabernacle, the principles of reverence, obedience, and sacrificial love resonate in the practice of Catholic worship today. The details of its construction, every curtain, lamp, and altar, echo the call for believers to create spaces in their own lives that invite God's presence. Each act of devotion transforms the mundane into the sacred, allowing the faithful to experience God's grace in the ordinary moments of life. 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9. The legacy of the tabernacle also teaches about redemption and the ultimate fulfillment of God's plan through Jesus Christ, the true tabernacle among us. Through His sacrifice, the barrier between humanity and God was removed, permitting an unbroken fellowship. The eternal truths embedded within the construction of the tabernacle remind us that God is always at work, crafting His dwelling in our hearts and calling us to live as vessels of His love in the world. John chapter 1 verse 14.